Hi, it's me again. I'm Nafith. In this short video, we'll talk about the template group for ArubaCX switches. And simply, in this video, we'll talk about how to create the site, to add the switches to that site, how to create template group, and how to create the template itself inside the template group from the switch running config, how to look into the configuration lockout. It means you cannot make changes to the configuration because it's locked out from Central. You can remove that command if need be. And also, we would like to have template if conditions. So we're going to insert conditions that says if condition with variables, and how to troubleshoot the configuration in Aruba Central. Let's have a look. You click on the site. By default, there are no sites. Scroll down, add a new site, fill the site details, and then create the site. So we fill the details and we're going to add the site. No thanks. We're going to add all the switches to the site. We can see all devices, but we'd like to add the switches. Now we're going to create a template group. So we'll go back to create a group, and we will make that group type as a template. So we're going to add the group. So we're going to make it for switches. I'll make this one template. Give this name and we go next. We decide now what kind of switches. We make it for CX only, and we're gonna add. Now you can see the template group. It says TG, and you can delete it because there are no members now to that specific group. So you can delete the group with no issues. We'll move the switch. So we will move one switch only. We just move, say, we're going to move edge 2 from the group that it belongs to now to this new template group. You can now configure, you can clearly see it has one member, and we can do it from here, or you can go and then in the config we add a group template, and the name, it doesn't matter, to be quite honest. We just give it SWH, and the type is CX, the group type is CX anyway. We're going to say next, leave everything as is, and we will import configuration. The only switch that exists is this, and that will be added. Notice the variable has been created, like this case, hostname. So this is automatically created without any effort from your side, and all settings of that switch have been imported here, whatever VLANs we have, and so on and so forth. We'd like to verify the template works, so we're going to go just create a new VLAN anywhere, doesn't matter. Let's go VLAN 1000. I'm going to save it. Now we can clearly, in the config audit, see if there are any issues in here. So, of course, it might take a few minutes or a few seconds even. What we can do, we can go to the list and see if the switch is in sync or out of sync. Now it is in sync. If we look into that switch console, we see show VLAN. We can see VLAN 1000 have been added. The fact we just created the VLAN now in Aruba Central, it has been added to that switch. Say for example, try to create a VLAN locally on the switch here. So now we can see show Aruba Central is connected, and I can try to create VLAN, say 3000. We cannot do it, and the reason for this, because this is managed by Aruba Central. We go to the config mode or template, edit the template, and go wherever, but it's good. It's already looked out managed. Do you see this? So basically, the central is locking out that switch, so you can't make changes. If we remove this command from the configuration, so let's just cut this, we will put it back again, and we're going to save this. If you go back to the switch, edge 2, I can do config, and I can issue this, help. VLAN, say 3000. I'm able to create a VLAN, and because the configuration is not locked out. Of course, this VLAN 3000 has been created. Once you, and if you enable show Aruba Central, you will see it's still connected, but the configuration is not locked out. So it means changes can be made in this case. So we'll go back to Central and edit this line, and just put that command back in again. Now we're gonna just make sure there's no space between, there's no space, yeah. And then we're gonna save. Once we save it now, and if you go to the edge switch, show running config, include lockout. See, it is locked out now. And you notice the VLAN we created is gone because template pushed settings back to the switch. So the local changes we made have been overridden by the template because the template did not have VLAN 3000. At the bottom of this template, I've added this a bunch of variables, so if conditions. So it says in here, variable if, so the meaning of this one, if this variable exists with the name MGMT VLAN, if a variable exists with the name MGMT IP, and if the variable exists with the name MGMT gateway, then you're going to create a VLAN with that ID. So I'm going to create, that's the name of the VLAN basically. And then you go to the interface of that VLAN, then assign the IP address for that with that value, and then you create an IP route, and then you end all these if statements. Now you will, if you cancel this one, and if you look at short variables list here used by this template, we're going to see host name generated by the system underscore sys, and these are the three different variables. We use them in if conditions. Okay, now if you look at the variables here, you will notice that sysname, LAN, MAC, and serial number are the only ones listed. The three new variables, we have not assigned them any value. Now we need to add them to the variables file. So we're going to download this variables file. We're going to use it basically. So we're going to use that. These are the original variables that existed with the template, and we're gonna add our own variables with the values so they can be backed up. So what we're gonna do, so the last statement in the JSON, we will add a comma, and we'll come here and we'll paste it here, so we indent, so make it consistent. So now we're going to save it and then upload it again. Remember the last statement in this statement, there's no comma. Okay, we're going to save it as. We come here, we will upload that new value. So that should be populated now. Okay, the new values, so this has been updated successfully. It might take a bit of time to list all the new variables here. You can refresh, you might just wait. Now they have been updated, and if you check the switch itself, you're going to see, oh, we notice that the switch will have, you see, not in sync. We might have issues, so let's go to configuration audit and look into this. Incomplete command, it means that we have not, I think, inserted the subnet mask here. So we're going to close this. We're going to go back, and this value is incorrect. Management IP should be /24. That's the IP address. Of course, it will update. And if we again go to configuration audit, it takes time to disappear. It's in sync now. If you go back to the switch, you will notice the switch should have the new IP, the new VLAN 3, and then show IP int brief. You're going to see the IP address of VLAN 3, and we're not much worried about this one. We just wanted to confirm the VLAN was pushed into the switch. So this is using variables basically, and then using we updated the value for the variables, as you could see.